Hey guys, today we are going to review surface area, and we will work with prisms, pyramids, cylinders, cones, spheres, and then at the end we will do one that puts a couple of those together. So we'll start with a triangular prism. Okay, so for a prism, the surface area is 2 times the area of the base plus the perimeter times height. Okay, so 2 times the area of the base gets us the area of this base and the parallel base. Perimeter times height gets us the area of all of the lateral faces, the rectangles around this prism. So for the area of the base, this is a triangle. So it's 2 times the area of a triangle, which is half times base times height of the triangle. Base and height of a triangle are perpendicular to each other. In this case, that is 5 and 12. Then we have perimeter times height. So perimeter is 12 plus 5 plus whatever this is right here. And to get that, we will use the Pythagorean Theorem. Leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. That's 5 squared plus 12 squared equals c squared. So 5 squared plus 12 squared is 169. So 169 equals c squared. And then we take the square root of both sides, and we get c is square root of 169 is 13. So c is 13, so we have 13 inches here for the hypotenuse. So for the perimeter, 12 plus 5 plus 13. And we have a perimeter of 30. So for perimeter, 30. And then height is the distance between the bases. The bases here are front and back. The height is the distance between them, and that is 10. So we have 2 times half times 5 times 12 for 2 times the area of the base, plus perimeter times height, that is 30 times 10. And I got an error because I hit the decimal on accident instead of a 2 there. So we'll try that again. We get 360. 360 inches squared. Next we have a rectangular prism. For a rectangular prism, any rectangle can count as the base. Let's use this right side. So the right side is a base, which means the left side, that's kind of hiding over here, that is the other base. So 2 times the area of the base gets us those 2 rectangles. So we have a surface area of 2 times the area of the base, which is 5 times 8. Plus the perimeter of that same base, so we've got 5, 5, 8, and 8, for a perimeter of 26. And then the height is the distance between the 2 bases, which is 15. So 2 times 5 times 8 plus 26 times 15, 470. 470 centimeters squared. Next we have a cylinder, which has a very similar formula, and that is 2 times the area of the base, but in this case the base is a circle. It doesn't change like our base changed from a triangle to a rectangle. So we have a circular base, so for surface area we have 2 times the area of the base, which is found by pi r squared. Plus perimeter times height, but perimeter of a circle is called circumference, and that is pi times diameter, then times height. So the surface area here is 2 pi 6 squared plus pi times 6 times the height. I'm sorry, not 6, that's the diameter. The diameter goes all the way across, and that is 12. So 12 goes here times the height, which is also 12. Okay, so we're going to get an exact answer here. So I'll put everything in my calculator except pi. So that's 2 times 6 squared plus 12 times 12. and that is 216. So our exact surface area is 216 pi feet squared. Next we have a pyramid. For the surface area of a pyramid, there is only one base. Okay, so capital B gets us the area of this base, plus 1/2 perimeter times slant height. And what half perimeter times slant height does is it gets us the area of all of these triangles in one move. So for the area of the base, we have a square pyramid here. It's 12 squared, plus 1/2 times perimeter. Each side of this base is 12, and there are 4 of them. 12 times 4 is 48, so the perimeter is 48, times the slant height, which is 10. So we have 12 squared plus 1/2 times 48 times 10, and that is 384. So we have 384 feet squared. Next we have a cone. For a cone, it's very much like a pyramid, except that the capital B here for base, it's always going to be a circle. In a pyramid, it doesn't have to be any particular shape. Any polygon will do. In a cone, it's always a circle, so one base is pi r squared. Then 1/2 times perimeter times slant height is 1/2 of the diameter, which is the same as pi r times the slant height. So for our surface area here, we have pi times the radius, 18 meters squared, plus pi, 18, times the slant height. Now we have the height, but not the slant height, so we're going to use Pythagorean Theorem again. 24 squared plus 18 squared, that's leg squared plus leg squared, equals hypotenuse squared. 24 squared plus 18 squared is 900, and then the square root is 30. So we get 30 here. Okay, so the slant height is 30. So everything but the pi in the calculator will give us an exact answer. 18 squared plus 18 times 30 is 864. So we have 864 pi meters squared. Next up we have a sphere, and for a sphere, surface area is 4 pi r squared. And the radius here is 1/2 the diameter, so the radius is 30 centimeters. So 4 pi 30 squared. 4 times 30 squared is 3,600. So we have 3,600 pi centimeters squared. And last we have a cylinder and a cone. So for a cylinder, the surface area is 2 pi r squared plus pi d h. And for a cone, the surface area is pi r squared plus pi r l. Now, this cylinder has a base over here and a base right here. But this base right here is covered up by the cone. So it's not actually on the surface of this figure. So that means for the surface of this figure, I only want one base. So just pi r squared. Now the cone has its base right here, but it's covered up by the cylinder, which means the cone does not have any bases on the surface. So no pi r squared. So we've got pi r squared plus pi dh plus pi r l. So for the cylinder, pi r squared is pi 4 squared plus pi dh, pi times, and then the diameter is 8, times the height of the cylinder, base to base, is 10. For the cone, pi r l, just the lateral area. So that's pi times 4 times the lateral, or the slant height, which is 14. So in my calculator, I'll do 4 squared plus 8 times 10 plus 4 times 14. That's 152. So our surface area is 152 pi inches squared.